Welcome to Module 2, the Content Creation Business 101. This is where we actually start creating your content creation business. We're going to go over a lot of different resources and templates. You'll have access to everything, and I highly suggest that you use them to fast track your success with this module. Let's jump into it. Module 2, Content Creation Framework. So what are you going to learn inside this module? You are first going to learn the basics of content creation, the different revenue models for content creators, choosing the right revenue model that fits you, the Content Creation Business 101, crafting professional content, creating powerful hooks, and introduction as we are going to go more deep into Module 3 and Module 4. That will be a full section on creating hooks and identifying the right brands and products to work with. Let's start with mastering the basics of content creation. So what every creator should know: quantity over quality when you start. So at first, when you're brand new, you need to put in the reps. You still don't know what style fits you, how to speak authentically, and you might be shy in front of the camera. And that's okay. You could only offset this by pushing out a lot of volume. Number 2, knowing your niche. Every piece of content should speak directly to the audience you're trying to target or the brand's audience. You have to understand the language and how they speak. Number 3, brand alignment. You have to ensure your tone, your styles, and the visuals that you are creating match the brands that you are working with. This is mostly for UGC. For TikTok Shop, doesn't matter too much, but for UGC, it is crucial. Section 2, the revenue models for content creators. So there are 3 main models that you can go. You could either do UGC flat rate, which is a pay per video or a batch of content. Whitelisting, so this is content used for ads with your account. You could charge a flat rate and even a performance bonus. And TikTok Shop, you could do either commission only or base pay plus commission for driving product sales. Now we're going to break down every single one. We're going to start with UGC flat rate. What are some pros of this business model? So firstly, we have a low barrier to entry. So brands value authentic, relatable content over polished and high production videos. You don't need a new huge following to start or a huge audience to land these deals, and this is ideal for beginners. Secondly, predictable income. So UGC often involves a fixed rate per video or a batch of videos, and it provides a clear understanding of your upfront earnings. It's great for building momentum early on when you're starting out. Number 3, portfolio building. It helps you establish a strong portfolio of brand and content. It helps you build credibility and attracts more brands for future collaboration. If you have very good brands in your portfolio, Amazon, Walmart, whatever it might be, it builds credibility to pitch other brands. Now, some cons. No passive income. You earn per project. There's no residual or ongoing income after the content is delivered, unless they use you as a content creator again for more campaigns. But if not, it's a set amount of videos for a fixed amount of payment. Number 2, it's time intensive. Each project requires you to plan, scripting, filming, editing in some cases, and revisions, which can be overwhelming if you're managing multiple deals. But some brands and agency will already give you the scripts and maybe already do the editing. So it all depends. Number 3, creative limitations. Brands often dictate the creative vision, leaving little to no room for your personal creativity. Content might not align with your style, with your passion, and it makes it feel less rewarding. Whitelisting. So what are some pros in here? You can scale earnings with performance bonuses. You are able to negotiate with the brand a set fee per month for using your account or take a percentage of the ad spend that runs through your video. It increases visibility. Brands run ads on Meta or TikTok with your content under your profile. This exposes you to a larger audience and potentially boosting your follower count and engagement and credibility among your account. Number 3, you have access to data metrics in real time. So if brands connect with your Facebook profile, your Instagram, or your TikTok, you will have an easier way to get this data. You'll be able to see it on your dashboard. And this is great if you want to put these metrics inside your portfolio. You could put metrics like the CTR, hook rate, video hold, and CPA. And if you don't know these terms yet, don't worry, we're going to have a full section covering these metrics. Some cons of whitelisting. You have limited control over the ads. Once the brand gains access to your profile, they control what they post and they want to display whatever ad. They could change the copy, and which may not always align with what your personal brand image is about. Secondly, audience perception risk. If the ad isn't well received from the audience, overused, or has controversy in it, it might lead to negative comments, perceptions, or audience fatigue on your profile. And the last one, TikTok Shop. Some pros: scalable income and potential for viral sales. You can combine base pay with commission, and meaning that every product that you sell, you earn. The more products you sell, the more you'll earn. Number 2, aligned with TikTok trends. You can leverage the TikTok algorithm to push viral products and jump on these trends before it comes out to the masses. This increases your chances of early engagement and sales. Number 3, still a low barrier to entry. It's easy to set up with minimal upfront cost, making it accessible for new creators to become an affiliate. Some cons: you're relying heavily on the product performance. Your earnings heavily depend on promoting the right product at the right time, which can be, in some cases, unpredictable. You'll always need to chase virality for every video you post. So it has the most amount of eyeballs on it, the most amount of traffic on your content, which equals to more sales. Number 2, it's time intensive. It requires consistent posting at least 2 to 3 times per day. You have to engage with comments, you have to monitor trends, monitor products that are going viral to stay relevant in the market. And number 3, content saturation. Competition among creators promoting similar products is huge, and this makes it harder to stand out and to drive sales consistently if your content is not good. Now, which revenue model is right for you? Well, all 3 are good. In our community, we have some people like Kate and Brianna making thousands of dollars every single month from these screenshots for UGC brand deals. We also have Lauren on TikTok Shop, which made over $3,000 in estimated commission in one single month. And this number is only growing as we are now in December, and she pushed a heavy amount of sales through her TikTok Shop videos. You could also see that she generated over $55,000 in sales for brands. And if you give that about 15 to 20% commission, she's making $8,000 every single month. Section 3, Content Creation Business 101. You need to treat your content creation as a business. It's not just a hobby, it's a full-time business that you are creating for yourself. And brands notice creators who operate like professionals. It's the key to consistent deal flow and to higher pay. You are involved in growing their business, and it's a huge responsibility on your shoulders. So don't take it lightly. Contracts and agreements. Contracts matter, and the terms that you put in contract dictate if you have good terms or not. So you need to protect yourself legally. Usage rights, timelines, payments, there's a whole bunch that goes into it. Now you want to ensure that you have clear expectations between you and the brand. For example, the number of revisions that you want to provide, the content formats, what you're allowed and not allowed to say, and obviously payment terms. The terms that I recommend that you include as a must is payment schedules, when you want to get paid, 50% upfront, 50% after, everything upfront or everything after. You decide. We usually do everything after once the content is delivered. Content ownership. Who owns the content? Do you give them rights in perpetuity? Do you give them exclusivity? Do you have a whitelisting clause or permission? Those are terms that you have to include. We'll make sure that you understand the sample contract that we are going to provide you, and you're going to edit it to your own liking. You can send it to us for review, but we'll jump into it and we'll review what the template of a sample agreement looks like. So we have it right here, our creator contract. We made it very simple, almost a one-pager. We first start with the introduction. This agreement is between you and the brand located at address and address. The scope of the work, the creator agrees to create X amount of videos or posts or whatever it might be. You would label it in this section. The timeline. So the project will commence on December 4th and go until December 30th before it ends. The brands also, if they have any revisions, they're allowed to give revisions in 1 business day, 2, 3, 4, whatever it might be. Then payment terms. The agreed upon payment for this project is $500. Payments will be paid via PayPal or bank transfer within 3 days of when the content is improved. For example, we have a clause also, a 50% deposit is required upon signing this contract. Now, if they're late, if there's any late fees, if you want to put a percentage of late fees, feel free to do so. Then content guidelines. Who will own the content? What will be happening? The content must be original, aligned with the brand's image. All these things could be tweaked for your own liking. Revisions. The creator agrees to provide up to 3 rounds of revisions, 2, 1, none, whatever it might be. This is what you can put here. As well, if you want to charge for more revisions, for example, if they pass 2 revisions, then it'll be $50 per revision. The brand is granted right to use the content for whatever they want to use it for. Organic, ads, social media, YouTube, whatever you want to put for usage rights, it is up to you. Some confidentiality clause, independent contractor, some cancellation, some liability, and then the entire agreement, which is signed by the creator, yourself, and the brand. So this is a sample creator contract that you can use when dealing with brands. How do you price your services? We've seen this question come up a lot of different times, and we found that this is the best structure to use if you are a beginner. Paid media for UGC videos, 1 video starting at $150 per concept. 1 concept is basically 1 angle. Then 3 videos, let's say 3 different angles starting at $400, 5 videos, 5 different concepts or angles starting at $625. Now, we suggest, as a rule of thumb, to always offer the raw files and the usage rights in perpetuity. As a brand new content creator, you might not have a lot of data, a lot of wins behind your back. We suggest that you always provide this. It's just a step up in the differentiating creators across the entire industry. Now, some add-ons that you can put. If they require you to shoot in multiple locations, you could start at $100 depending where they want you to go, and you could price it accordingly. If you need to buy props, you can add it as well. If you need to involve a friend, a partner, a spouse, whatever it might be, you can charge accordingly, but it depends each person. If they want more hooks, you could charge $50 per hook. If they want more call to actions, which is lasts about 3-5 seconds of the video, you could charge $50 per call to action. Now, factors that may impact your pricing, your niche. So depending the brands and the size of the brand that you work with, this can affect your pricing. The complexity of the content. If there's a lot of shots that you need to take, B-roll, static images, whatever it might be, that could be a little bit of complex task inside your content, and you can charge accordingly. And the usage rights. If you already are an experienced content creator and have metrics that back your content, then you could obviously charge more for your content. When you're communicating with brands, it's important that you stay professional. Your response time is within 24 hours, either emails or Slack messages, and it's clear and concise. Always confirm deliverables, timelines, and payments. Do not do this over text or WhatsApp or Instagram. Always do this through email or contracts. Very, very important, so you are protected on the long run. Now, some key tools for you for running this content business. Firstly, Notion. Notion can be used a lot. We use it heavily, and you'll see a lot of our templates, a lot of our planning is done on Notion. You could organize your content calendars. You can track your progress. You can manage client lists. Notion is a great all-in-one tool for you to use. Next up, Canva. For design, for portfolio, for thumbnails, or any other template that you want to use, Canva has a huge variety of different tools and templates that you can use. CapCut is the best video editing software that we found. It is very easy to use. It's very simple and it's directly correlated to TikTok. So you could do everything from the CapCut app, either on your Mac, on your PC, or on your phone. Next is Google Drive. You can store all your briefs in there, your contracts, your video files. These are big files. And Google Drive is a free platform and you could do all this with it. And next up is QuickBooks. QuickBooks is, you can use it to send invoices, to collect payments if you want. You can keep track of your income directly on QuickBooks. There is a monthly fee to it, but it's a great tool if you guys want to send invoices through QuickBooks and collect payment directly from QuickBooks. If not, you can still use their invoice generating software and then collect payment through bank transfer or PayPal. Section number 4, an introduction to crafting professional content. Very important that you have high quality visuals, that it's not pixelated like this image, for example, that I'm not sure why it is. But you're going to go into your camera settings app on your iPhone. And we recommend that everything is filmed in 1080p at 60 frames per second. So in the settings of the camera, you'll be able to see record video at 1080p, 60 frames per second. You go to settings, camera, and you change this. And make sure that your HDR video is off. This is in the pre-serve settings. It just makes it a lot of contrast. So we don't use this in our visuals or when we're creating some content. Your lighting. Natural light is always the best move. So staying in front of a huge window with natural light is your go-to. Now, if you don't have a window that you can use, then do not film your content in low light. You could buy a portable ring light. You could buy a huge light like this one that I have in front of me for about $25 on Amazon. And you could just see the difference from this lighting compared to this creator that has a very dark lighting. And TikTok and UGC brands deals do not want this type of lighting. It's very dull. It makes a very low quality visual. Next up is your audio. So when you're recording voiceovers or whatever it might be, do it from the Memo app on your iPhone. You speak clearly and have good pronunciation inside the Memo app, and be mindful of background noises. If there's cars going through, if your window's open, there's fans, maybe your kids are around, just make sure that it's clean, the audio is good, and there's no interruption. The second one is your location. You should have a clear background when shooting your face to cameras. So for example, you can see that very clean background. It doesn't have to be luxurious, it just has to be clean. No messy backgrounds like this creator. She was apparently moving at the time of filming this, or she was doing laundry. I'm not sure what she was doing, but you could see how distracting it is. Next, the TikTok and Reels save zone. So you need to keep in mind that these save zones on the screen, it's the areas that are free from any of TikTok or the Reels buttons or text. So you make sure that your key moments and any crucial info is in these save zones. And you have on the left, the TikTok, which is the save zone right here. And on Reels, a bit bigger because on the right, there's not all the comment section. Section 5, creating powerful hooks. Yet again, this is an introduction as we are going to really dive into it when we are in the UGC and TikTok shop modules. The hook of the video is the most important part. So without this, the rest of the video can be amazing, but no one's going to be there to watch it. So as a beginner in content creation, make sure that you spend most of your time perfecting your hook. And this is a simple framework that I have used for my videos and that we teach our creators inside our community. Start with a bold statement or question. Kick off with a proactive statement, a shocking fact, or a compelling question that immediately grabs the attention of the viewer. We're in an attention economy and you're competing with thousands, if not millions of different pieces of content on these platforms. So your goal is to grab the attention of the viewer and to interrupt them while they're scrolling for entertainment on Reels or TikTok. For example, this is why I hate this product. You could use this in terms of reverse psychology and make sure that you bring in your emphasis and you bring in your emotions when creating these hooks. If the hook just goes, this is why I hate this product, then it won't stop any viewer. Now, if I look at the camera and I say, this is why I hate this product, obviously people are going to be like, whoa, what's going on? It's a pattern interrupt. And this is what you want in your hooks. Number 2, use emotional trigger words. Appeal to your viewers' emotion in curiosity, in fear, and excitement, or urgent can also be a powerful motivator. For example, if you're always sluggish during the day, listen up, right? We're all speaking on emotions, and you could put in fear in here, you could put in excitement. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but this is just an example to make sure that you use emotional trigger words. Next up, keep it short and snappy. Ideally 3 seconds, I'd say 4 seconds max. If you go up to 5 seconds, it's good, but 5 is the ultimate max. Don't waste your time on lengthy intros. Hey guys, this is Simon. Today I'm going to be reviewing a product that I bought on Amazon. This will definitely not work, and it doesn't grab the attention of the viewer. People do not care what you have to say, so make sure it's short and snappy. Number 4 is show, don't always tell. So visuals are incredibly powerful in the hooks, especially on TikTok. So you could combine your hook with an attention-grabbing visual that reinforces the message. For example, if I'm speaking about this water bottle, it's easy for me to just say, I love this water bottle as the hook, but imagine I would crush this water bottle in half. That obviously is a powerful visual hook. And it's like, why is this person crushing a water bottle? And if you do this in editing as well, you can make a zoom in effect, a zoom out, whatever it might be. You could put a sound effect on top of it, and it just grabs the attention of the viewer. Number 5 is tease the main content in your hook. Give a hint of what's to come without revealing too much. For example, stay tuned because the secret of getting clear skin is simpler than you think. This relays the main content of what we're going to speak about, but it doesn't actually give the solution right away. Now, some ChatGPT prompts that you can use to craft very good hooks. This is a template that we use for creative strategy. We will dive into it in module 3 with ChatGPT, but it goes something like this. You are an expert UGC social media strategist. We're going to work on a new UGC ad concept targeting the customer avatar and insert your customer avatar. Please keep their pain points and motivators in mind, as well as the relevant product benefits and features related to her or his profile. We're going to create X amount of creative concepts promoting X product to develop a UGC campaign. Each concept should be thought out carefully, especially for someone who represents and relates to our targeted customer avatar. We can test different creative concepts such as before, after, taste test, split screens, myth, truth, testimonials, product reviews, green screen, list them all. Putting the product to the test. Be creative with it, keeping in mind only one person with an iPhone will be filming this campaign at home. For each of the concepts, please list one ad angle, one pain point, one small paragraph of benefits and unique selling propositions, and 10 UGC hook variations for your UGC that will be created. Remember, these hooks shouldn't be salesy, commercial, or cliche. They should feel organic, authentic, and very relatable. Conversational and trendy, interesting and engaging. They need to feel like an organic video that went viral. Now, this is the ChatGPT prompt that you guys can use. We're going to dive into the section, but if you fill out all the info that you have from the brand and the customer avatar, you are keen to spit out at least 2 to 3 good hooks from this prompt. Now, another thing, a template and resource that we can offer you is the viral hook library. And you could see it here. We spent years creating this viral hook, and you could see we have some from 2023, some hooks, the examples that you can use, and it just goes on. And also we have a 2024 updated hook sheet that you can use as well. So over time, some hooks do better than others, some hooks die out. So this is something that you can use. Next up, matching the brand alignment with who you're working with. So there will be 2 paths that you can take for this. Firstly, does the brand provide you with a good enough brief? And if not, if the brief is weak and you need to come up with a detailed creative strategy, that's the second path. Now, we will first show you what a good brief consists of so you know. So let's dive into it, and I'll show you exactly the information you need to have to create content that will convert. The first thing that a good brief has is clear brand guidelines, a customer avatar, product analysis, and competitor analysis. So let's dive into an example. So you can see that we have a brief like this. This was for a brand that we worked with. It is clearly laid out of the deliverables that we need. We need one voiceover for the script, one face to camera, and 31 B-roll clips. We know exactly how much our payout is, and we know exactly the do's and don'ts of the brands. For example, do not sound like you are reading a script that is unnatural to the way you authentically speak. Do not show any messy or overcrowded spaces. Do not just pour plain water with the bellow home unless specifically indicated to do so. This is a water machine. For example, the do's: be very aesthetic, give off Pilates yoga influencer vibe. Look at their website and check out some of the videos to see how the bellow home works and how the previous models are dressed to promote the product. So a clear brand's do's and don'ts specifically for the brand that you are working with. Then we had the ad overview, the deliverables that we need. Do we need any sort of outfits? Are there any locations that we need to film in? Are there any props that we need to buy? And if they have any link to inspiration on how the video looks at the final. A clear understanding of what hooks I'm going to do, the shot type, the visuals, as well as a script breakdown of what I'm going to say in the body, in the call to action, and what each step of the way as the visuals are represented. So what do I need to show inside this actual piece of content? Now, if they don't, if the brief is missing info, if it's not structured well, and if you need to come up with the creative strategy and do the research, first things first, charge more for this. This is a very big task to do. It requires a lot of research, a lot of creative strategy knowledge. And if the brand doesn't give you anything, then definitely charge more for it. Now, in the research phase, there are 4 main sections that you need to cover. You need to cover the brand that we're working with, the customer avatar, the product analysis, and the competitor analysis. Let's dive into each one, and I'll show you how to do research for each section so you have the best chance of creating a winning concept. So firstly, we will start by inputting all the brand's social media accounts. Instagram, website, TikTok, whatever it might be, put it there. Then you will have a section on voice. Understand the brand's voice is a critical component of creating content that converts because we need to know who we're speaking to. So we need to ask ourselves, who is the audience? Are they sophisticated, family-oriented, funky, funny, whatever it might be? What is the tone? For example, Harneys.com, which is a tea company, is educated, approachable, and a warm tone. What are the values of the audience? In this case, focus on tradition, family values, respect. And you need to use language that reflects these themes in your script. Secondly is aesthetics. So each brand has its own aesthetics. And for example, our Harneys.com, which is Harneys & Sons Fine Tea, the aesthetics of it is simple, elegant, and emphasizes clean and classic fonts with premium quality. So that's the aesthetics that we are going to go for. Then, what is the brand's mission, vision, or USP, unique selling proposition? This section helps you to align your content with the brand's overarching goal. So for example, the mission and vision is the aim to make premium tea accessible while educating consumers on tea tradition. So your content should highlight the rich history, cultures, and benefits of drinking tea. And the unique selling proposition of this brand is the brand prioritizes ethical sourcing, environmental stewardship, and family values. Include storytelling that emphasizes these values. And that will be the mission, vision, and USP. You will go into the industry. So you need to understand in what niche your content needs to be aligned with. For Harneys & Son, it's food and beverage. So you're going to showcase their teas with daily routines, morning routines, night routines, tea parties, whatever it might be. And last but not least, reviews. One of the most important sections of this whole document is reviews. You can look anywhere for these. Facebook comments, Instagram comments, TikTok comments, Facebook groups, Reddit posts, Amazon, Trustpilot, and these reviews will help you build out your hook and your script. You can use positive reviews to showcase benefits of the product, or even you can use negative reviews to address these concerns in your content. And you will have access to this whole resource in Module 2 Assets, which is matching the brand alignment. You will have exactly everything here. Next up, an authenticity hack while you're writing your script. So the problem of a lot of creators is that they have fear or they're a bit shy on being on camera. And when they feel shy, they feel awkward, and that comes out as unnatural. So they worry about sounding authentic and relatable. And the solution is meet my friend Oliver. So instead of speaking to the camera, imagine you're speaking to your best friend. In my case, Oliver. For me, Oliver represents my customer avatar, has specific needs, questions, and concerns that your video content can solve. And by speaking to Oliver, I'm natural, I sound genuine, conversational, and approachable. How does this work? Just visualize that your Oliver is right in front of you and associated like you're speaking to him across a table, on FaceTime. Relax, smile, and let your tone reflect that you're just helping out a friend and not selling to strangers. So a very good authenticity hack for you guys to use if you're a bit shy, if you sound unnatural or too salesy. Choosing the right products. Firstly, does your audience align with the product? You can ask yourself, can I showcase this product in a way that feels natural? Will I generally enjoy creating content for this type of product, or will I feel forced? Again, some exceptions here. Mostly this is for UGC because as you are doing TikTok Shop, you have a lot of different freedoms. You have a lot of different products to choose from. But as a UGC creator, you're kind of honed in into that product, into that script or those specific guidelines, and you need to sound natural. Second question that you can ask yourself is, does the product solve a real problem and bring value to the customer? All the successful products solve a specific pain point for their audience. So choose items that people are actively searching for or need in their lives. For example, a moon lamp is nice to be in a room. It's nice for design, but it doesn't solve an actual problem. For example, clothing could solve an actual problem, which is insecurity or fashion, or you want a sense of community or involvement. Just make sure that when you are choosing products, you have these two questions in mind. Then for TikTok Shop, choosing products will be done mostly on Kalo data. So we were going to go very deep into this section in module 4, which is the TikTok Shop, but we're going to identify trends and high performing products on Kalo data, which is connected to TikTok Shop. We're going to look for top sellers, top creators, top categories, and we're going to try to find products that have momentum of seasonal peaks, of holiday peaks, whatever it might be. For example, a trending skincare gadget during Q4 might have better results than just a random product with no sale going on. But we'll dive into this on module 4 for TikTok Shop, but just for you to have an overview on how we're going to choose our products. And yet again, momentum starts with belief and is built with consistent action. Try to improve 1% every single day, and in the long run, that will compound. So reflect on what you've learned in this module and come prepared on the next module with the same energy. Now, what is the checklist for this module? Define your revenue goals for your content business. Choose whether you want to focus on UGC, on TikTok Shop, or on both. Write out the revenue goal on a journal, on a piece of paper, and place it right in front of you so you can see it every single day. For example, on your fridge, on your desk, on your wall, right when you wake up in the morning, wherever it is, you need to see it every single day. Number 2, optimize your content setup. Make sure you have resolution at 1080p, your camera settings are good. Check what the best spot in your house is for lighting. If not, buy a ring lamp or a studio lamp like this for about $25 on Amazon, and declutter your area of any sort of mess. Number 3, you're going to identify and refine your content style. Write out to yourself, what is my content style? What is my uniqueness? Am I a natural storyteller? Am I good with humor, or I'm good at being relatable with the actual audience? Practice this, write out hooks, and check the hook template that we provided, and just start brainstorming some different hooks that you can use with products around your house. Number 4, set up your toolkit. make sure you sign up to Notion, download the tracker, download CapCut on your phone, make sure your Google Drive is set up. If you are going to use Canva and QuickBooks, make sure you install those as well and organize everything in Google Drive for your folders, for example, raw videos, final videos. And number 5, commit to consistency. I told you guys that I'm going to be very, very keen on this word, which is consistency. So you're going to schedule at least 4 to 5 hours every single week for content creation, for outreach. In module 1, we reviewed how to do our calendar. So at this point in module 2, you should already have around 4 to 6 hours every single week blocked off that you cannot miss these meetings. So you're going to plan your content and we're going to review your progress. Thank you. I'll see you guys on module 3.